If you've ever created and published a video on YouTube, but now the destination you were pointing people to, the call to action really no longer applies, and you want to send people in a new direction to a new link to do something different, I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can leverage in order to be able to make those adjustments, of course, without actually going in and editing the full video, because you can't do that without republishing. So let's get into it. All right, so I had a client that came to me and asked me about, I'm no longer promoting this particular summit, but I do want to promote this other event or summit that we are going to have coming up. So how can I do that simply inside of YouTube? So I did a little bit of research, and there were 3 things that I came up with that would be really simple. And I'll share with you, I'll demo for you one of them in just a second, but I'll share with you right off the bat that one thing you can do is simply go into the description of the video. So I'm going to pull up this Go Brunch review that I did not that long ago. And in the review content right here, you'll see the description. So I have a link that exists today. And actually, in my case, this link still works. But what if I had a link in the description that no longer worked? Well, the easy way to go about editing this is simply by editing the video. And then you're going to go in the video description and make the change right there. So that's tip number 1. But here's tip number 2, and that is if you have created an end card, if you have a link card that you've connected, and even if you don't, you can add one to your video at different points in the video where you want to promote the call to action. So I'm going to show you how you actually do that. Now, I use something called TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy gives me access to templates and other things, but we're going to skip doing that. I'm going to keep this super simple. When you pull up the end card information in your channel for that specific video that you're editing, notice that there is an add info card linking to an external website. And this is going to be the simplest way. There are other options as well here, but all we're going to work with is this really simple edit. So let's say that I had that link previously that you saw in the description, and I've changed that to the new summit page where I want people to sign up. So I'm going to change this as well. Now, in my case, I'm just going to use the same link, but just pretend this is yours and it's pointing to a new destination for you. And let's say my affiliate link in this case changed. I'm just going to add it here. So here's what we do. We add the link, we apply, and now it's going to ask you for more information. So what I'll do is I'll add a little image right here. Actually, I'll just use that image. That's fine. I'm going to make the card have a title. Notice it gives you a limit right here. You won't be able to go over that limit. It'll show up as red if it's not working. Then right here, my call to action will be, and then right here, teaser text, I'm going to say, learn more here. Now notice that teaser text shows up right here on the actual video, and I'm going to show you what it will do in just a second. So I don't want this to start off with this showing. What I'm going to do instead, and it's only going to be up for a few minutes, but I'm going to make this come up at about the 1 minute mark. So we'll leave it right there, and at about 1 minute in, this will pop up. So I'm going to show you what this does. When I add this, we'll save. And now when we go back and we look at the actual video, there's going to be a couple of things that you will see. So let's go into the video. All right, so a couple of things, places that you're going to see where this actually matters. So now when I open the description, and you've changed your description link here, notice there's also a new link that pops up as people are looking below in the description for your video. The link that I want them to go to shows up here, and then it also is going to show up as an information bubble. So at the 1 minute mark, it's actually going to display on screen. So let's scroll to the 1 minute mark. Boom, it just popped up at the 1 minute mark. So not only do you have the eye bubble that's going to pop up and just show, but you also now have learn more here is popping up in full display on the video itself. And again, as I mentioned, it's the same link that's here. So when people click on this link, they're going to go to the specific destination that you choose. How cool is that? Now, the third and final tip that I'm going to give you for this is pretty simple, but it's going to take a little bit of editing. If you have, and this only applies in a certain situation, if your call to action is at the very, very end of your video and you don't have anything that you care about people missing out on, if you really want to and you're super desperate to remove a particular link or an action that you're trying to draw people to is completely wrong, but it's at the very end or even at the very beginning, there is a simple way for you to trim and cut right down here. So I could say, hey, I just want you to actually cut out or trim out the last part of my video, right? And once you make that edit and you move that to the point where you want to cut off the video, now when you save it and it republishes, when people see this video, they won't see that very end clip that had the call to action that no longer applies. But that I think I'd only do that in desperation. And most of the time, my calls to action are not at the very end of the video. They're sprinkled throughout. So the best way I think is to go with tip number 1 or tip number 2. I could say, hey, I do want to go ahead and change that link and make it updated. So I'm going to go back to card and see, I can go in here, change it up, fix the link, and save it if I wanted to change it and update it again, or if I made a mistake in spelling, or if I want to change the actual words that show up on screen. Those are 3 ways that you can edit your video call to action simply and quickly if you want to send people to a different destination or a different link. I hope you enjoyed this tip. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and come back for our weekly live stream on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you next time in the stream.